Hi, this is Dr. Hayes, your new dentist coach,
Sure.
with another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin, where we answer your questions about applying to dental school, applying into residencies, both GPRs and our AEGDs, or even specialty programs. And we talk about life after dental school as a new dentist. Today's episode, we're going to be talking with Ericka, who is pre-dental. No, you're not a pre-dental student. You're a dental student getting ready to graduate and apply. You've applied to
Yeah,
residency, right?
sure. Yes. Well, I am a dentist from Brazil, so I finished my college there. I started my master's degree there, and then I moved here in 2014. I couldn't speak in English at all, so it was really difficult at the beginning to communicate. So I spent about like 6 months trying to learn English as much as I could. So after that, I first I was trying to finish my master's here because I didn't finish in Brazil. But
Okay.
then I realized that I prefer to practice. So I met a guy who is from Syria, and he gave me some advices about the board. So I studied for the board part one, and then I passed, and then board part two, and then I passed. Between this time, because I was like, I have to make some money here as well. So I
Mhm.
started to be a health coach. So I started to be coach. I did some observership in a really busy clinic as well. So, and then now, finally, well, last year I tried to apply for university because I have to practice here 2 years in order to have my license here. But my TOEFL score was 70 something, 72, I think, and it was low, so they didn't accept me. So this year I was like, okay, this year I'm gonna do my best. So at the beginning of this year, I passed board part two, and then I did a 96 on TOEFL, and
96,
I did
great.
like more courses. Yeah. And then I studied like some online courses, and I tried to do as much as I could in the dentistry area. So I went to Brazil, I did some courses there to practice more. And finally I got my first interview. Here I applied in September in Connecticut. So I was like really happy. But in the middle of the interview, they was like, "Oh my God, you didn't practice for 3 years, so it's almost 3 years." And I was like, "I tried, to practice here, but I can't because I don't have license here. Even though every time that I go to Brazil, I practice there." They was like, "No, the materials may be, a little different." So I did a course here to to know more about the materials here. I did an observe here in order to know more about the dentistry life in here in USA. But I don't know. I don't know what can I do more in order to be accepted by a university. Well, actually, I don't have an answer yet. But my question to you is like, as soon as the interview was really tough, was a lot of questions. They asked me about my experience, and I practiced there in Brazil for 2 years as a dentist, so I have practice. But they were kind of insecure about my experience. So I showed them some photos that I have. I showed them, but and then after I finished my interview, I sent an email saying thank you. After that, like last week, I sent another email
Right.
saying that the interview was really I liked the interview. I liked the residents there. I liked the university. And now I don't know if I have to maybe call them or send another email in order to be remembered for them.
Right.
So that's my question. What do you think that I can do to get this spot there?
Wow. So Ericka, you've got a lot of things going on in with regards to this situation. But I applaud you for having the perseverance and just moving forward with your goal and just being determined to pass your boards and your TOEFL score, getting that up to a 96 from a 70 something. That's remarkable. Couple questions, and it could have been. Yes, that's great. Couple questions, and it could have been the internet that we're the voiceover internet that we're using. You said that you graduated from Brazil, got a dental degree from Brazil, right? What year was that?
Yeah, 2012.
2012. Okay, and then from 2012 to 2014, you were practicing in Brazil.
Yes.
Okay. And when did you come aquí to the States?
2015, January 2015.
All right, so 2015. And you've been where? Where are you located right now?
I was living in Cleveland.
Okay.
So I just moved to Pennsylvania in Harrisburg.
Okay, so you're in PA right now.
So now I live here. Yes.
Okay. And recently you applied to what kind of program?
To some EAGD. Well, actually, there are like more things because my husband lost his job this year, so we didn't have like a lot of money to apply for the university. So I had to choose like 4 or 5 programs. So I applied to University of Maryland, to Texas, University of Texas, and then Connecticut, and then what else, honey? Help me to remember all of them.
Still in University of Connecticut.
Yeah, well, in Connecticut, I applied to orthodontics and then EAGD.
Okay.
But all of them was EAGD.
No, a lot of universities don't accept.
Yeah, because a lot of universities don't accept international students, even though I have both boards and experience.
Yes. So that's okay. So I got that information now. That's what I wanted to clear out, because what you just said is a very, very important piece for you moving forward. A lot of schools, a lot of U.S. schools, even residency programs, if you do not have a U.S. degree or a CODA or Council on Dental Accreditation degree from a school that's CODA certified, they will not accept you. So you have to be really, really strategic in finding out which programs accept international dentists without having to do a U.S. program. And unfortunately, there's not a lot. So for you, without doing dental school in the U.S., it's going to be a numbers game, meaning you're going to have to apply to more programs than you think you want to, just to see who's going to give you a shot, right?
Yes, sure.
Oportunidad. I speak a little Spanish, so you may have me. I may have use a couple words here and there, but you need an oportunidad, opportunity, right? So that's the challenge. That's the problema. That's the problem. And I'm familiar with this because every year I get at least 2 or 3 people that contact me regarding wanting to do a residency, and they're an internationally trained dentist. There are a couple of ways to kind of circumvent your situation so that you go this way instead of going this way. one of the options that you have that you may want to consider looking into is you have to find either it's one or two things right now. Either you find a residency program that accepts international students and that is also deemed as a CODA certified program. That's one way that you'll be able to get into a residency program. There's one program that I'm familiar with. It's in the state of New York. All right, it's in Rochester, University of Rochester. They have a program. It's actually an AEGD program. It's a 2-year program that many international trained dentists will take. And the advantage of it is that it's certified by CODA, and it's recognized by CODA as if you're doing a 2-year program at a U.S. dental school. Me entiendes? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
So with that, you're able to, once you do those 2 years as an AEGD program / advanced standing program as an international dentist, you'll get your DDS, so it'll be recognized as the 2 years that you need for many locations. Then you can apply to a residency, and you won't have the issue of worrying about not being, well, two things. The advantage of that, number one, is that you get 2 years of training again. You get your hand speed, your hand-eye coordination back. It'll come back probably after the first month anyway. But it's 24 months of doing that. So other programs that have concerns about, well, you haven't been practicing for 2 or 3 years since you got your degree in 2012, or you've been practicing since 2014, but not since 2014. All of that is eliminated now because you're doing a 2-year program in the States. So that's one advantage.
Yeah.
The second advantage is that now you can apply to residencies, right? Because that program at Rochester is recognized as like doing 2 years advanced standing at a dental school. I know.
Yeah, so that's why I
go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, that's why, I was trying to apply to EAGD program, but even though, it's like 7 or 5 spots per year, it's like really competitive to get into it. So what do you think that I could do to be like more and get the spot or get the opportunity?
Well, right now, some of these programs, you won't even be considered at all, Doc. You will not be considered because you don't have a DDS from the U.S.
Okay.
So in order for you to be considered, even for you to get the spot, the second option is you may have to go back to dental school in the U.S. You may have to find, there's several schools throughout the country where you can go back for 2, 3, or even 4 years to get your DDS degree before they will even look at your application for residency. It sucks, unfortunately. But
yeah, it is.
That's the way. So the only way that you're going to really get noticed with your credentials is that you've got to increase your credentials.
Okay.
So you may have to invest another 2 years here to go into an advanced standing program and finish that 2 years and then apply to AEGD programs or other specialty programs that you have an interest in. And unfortunately, that's the only route. That's the only route, unless you have a school or a program that's willing to take you as an international trained dentist without doing a dental school curriculum in the U.S. That's the challenge. That's the problem. So
yeah,
either you go to like a University of Rochester, and I think you'll do well just by Googling it, getting on the internet and put in University of Rochester AEGD/Advanced Standing Program and learn a little bit more about it. You guys are in PA right now. It's in upstate New York, so it's kind of like one state over. Or the other option is
it's really close.
Yes, it's close state-wise, but I think it's several hours away. And then the other option is you have to look at dental schools, U.S. dental schools that have an advanced standing program, or actually it's called some of them are called professional programs for international students or international dentists. So number one, like where you are right now, you're in Pennsylvania, UPenn,
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg, University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, they have an advanced standing international program just for you.
Sure. I applied. Actually, I applied to there, and I applied. Well, this, the Connecticut is an AEGD residency program, so they accept foreign students, and I got an interview there 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
I
got that.
Waiting for the So, I am with the belief that I can get.
Yes.
That I can get there,
So your question. So I was giving that other information just as foundation, but to go back to your specific question as, okay, I interviewed at UConn, got the interview. It's an AEGD program that they take international students.
Yes.
There seems like the interview was tough. It's very competitive, and that they were concerned that you have not been practicing chairside for 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, right?
Exactly.
So your question more specifically with regards to that experience is, how do I get the position? What can I do to make myself more known and more exposed? Well, the first thing you can do is you sent the thank you note, you sent the follow-up note, and that's great. All right. But you know what? Everybody else that interviewed did the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, okay, thanks, Ericka, but everyone else done the same thing. All right, now what else can you do? Well, what else can you do? Number 2 is right now it's the holiday time, right? Feliz Navidad, Prospero Año. There's other holidays. Those people that you interviewed, maybe it'll be nice if you send them a holiday card.
Good.
Yeah, a holiday card.
Okay.
And one of the thing, and the third thing I would have told. The third thing is something that I would have told you maybe before your interview, which was when you're going to meet people at the interview, try to get their business card or find out maybe when their birthday is. Maybe they have a birthday between October and January, and you send them a happy birthday notice. Okay. Now, why are you doing those things? You're doing those things because even though they seem very easy to do, they're also very easy not to do.
Exactly.
But you're doing it for a reason. You're doing it to draw attention to yourself, right? Draw attention to yourself so that you want them to have your name on the tip a la lengua, of their tongue. Because, yes, it is competitive. Yes, everyone has these different grades and you have the interview, but up until that point, they didn't know who you were, right? They had no idea who you were. They are still kind of iffy about your skill set just because you just haven't been practicing for three years consistently. So, you know, you may have to follow as part of your follow-up with the thank you letter, holiday card, birthday card. You have to find some other ways to continue to communicate with them so that they are feeling more comfortable about usted, about you.
Mm-hmm. Good, good.
And those are all the things that some of the other candidates are probably not going to do. But for you, it's muy importante. It's very important for you to do that, because even though you've got an interview, due to your inability to practice in the U.S., it's kind of like puts you a little bit below some of the candidates.
Okay. Yes.
You know what I mean? So you have to find ways to let them know more about you as a person, as a practitioner, as a team player. And the fourth thing that you may have to do is you may have to send them some things that you've been doing. I know you said you've been doing an observership for the last.
Well, last week I sent another email to them, the email was like, oh, thank you again for the interview. I really like it, the amenities, the residents there. I liked the people and, everything there. And as I know that practice is something that it is important to you, I just want to say again that I have this practice like 2 years observership and blah, blah, blah. And then another thing that I'm gonna do next year in May, I'm gonna go to Guatemala to do something, like volunteering volunteer. So I sent to them and I was like, well, I'm gonna practice more there. And if I go to Brazil, I'm gonna practice there as well. And let me know if I can do something more here that, can be important to you. They didn't answer me, but that's okay. I can understand that a lot of people are sending emails for them.
Right.
But what do you think about this email?
I mean, unfortunately, Doc, everybody sends email. I mean, everyone gets bombarded every day with, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 emails.
Yes, it's a lot.
It's almost like sending a smoke signal up in the air. Some people are not going to see it. They're not going to see it because they get a lot of emails. You've got to be like what you and I are doing right now. You've got to be on the phone.
Okay.
You've got to be face to face, because that's how you're building the relationship, but also that's how you're getting right directly to the person. You're getting right to the person, because the emails is kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure. What do you see, like, if I add then on Facebook, something like that, send a message for Facebook, do you see this like invasive, something like that?
If you put a message on Facebook?
Yes.
Well,
no, I didn't send, but I was thinking about it.
Yeah, but
what do you think about it?
The only problem with Facebook is the same thing with the email. That's if they go on Facebook. See, that's the problem. You want to get directly, just like you and I connected today. Just like you and I connected today, you have to get directly to the people that were on that the interview committee. Do you have all the names of the people?
Yes, if I remember the name.
See, do you know all the names of the people that you interviewed with that day?
Yes.
Okay. So Facebook is, I wouldn't use Facebook. I would use LinkedIn. Are you familiar with LinkedIn?
Yes.
Now,
And I found them there.
yeah. So
I found them.
So LinkedIn is like Facebook for professionals. That's probably the best way to connect with people professionally. But at the same time,
Okay.
those people that you interviewed with, either some may be on LinkedIn, some may not. If they're not on LinkedIn, you still don't have a direct communication to them. But that would be another way of trying to communicate or building the relationship with them by connecting with them on LinkedIn, maybe even submitting some work. I mean, if you had a portfolio, that would be great. But only issue is that most of that stuff is going to be from 3 years ago, not from 14 to now. So
yes,
one of the other strategies I think you really have to employ is for every email that you send, you're probably going to have to call about 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
You've got to get on the phone and call, maybe even 3 times a day until somebody picks up. Or if they don't pick up, you are leaving a message and say, "Hey, this is Dr. Was it Willer? Right? Did I say it right?
Ericka.
What is it?
Ericka. My name is Ericka.
Okay, this is Dr. Ericka, and I had a quick. I met with you on December 5th with my interview. Thank you so much again. I had a quick question. Just want to set up a time where I can talk to you. You leave a message, leave the telephone number, and then wait for them to call. In 2 days, if they don't call you back, hi, this is Dr. Ericka again. Just want to follow up. Just wanted to check in and want to set up a time. I know you're busy. I am too. Just want to set up a time. Let me know the best time to call. Thank you. And if you still don't hear back from me 2 or 3 days from now, again, you get back on the phone and call. Hey, this is Dr. Ericka.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Good for this week. So you have to be really persistent and really determined.
I'm gonna do that.
And do it that way. So that's one thing that I would do differently. The emails are fine, but they're not going to get through like a phone call. Right? Another thing is this. Doc, you may have to go back there and go visit and maybe volunteer.
Okay. I asked it for a volunteer there. I asked him, can I come here to volunteer to be here around? But he said me that no, it's not possible. But because, well, you have to. There are a lot of papers, so he said that it's not possible. But I can go there for sure because this is something that I really want to get.
Yeah. So
I don't want to wait 1 more year.
Right. Well, that's good that you're willing to do that. Now, he's right or she's right or they're right. For you to volunteer, you almost have to be registered as an employee of the hospital, of the dental area, etc. But what you could do is you can ask for a day when you can come in and observe.
I did it. I spent it was not 1 day, but it was a couple of hours there, observing and talk about, which was really good because, the contact there was really good.
Okay. So that's good, but you did it once, right?
Yes.
You may need to do it 2, 3, 4, or 5 more times because that's going to show that you are really, really, really interested. You're making the trek from Pennsylvania to Connecticut, not getting paid for it. You're not actually helping in the clinic, but you're willing to do. That shows that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get them to understand your work ethic. It shows that you've got some good work ethic, you're disciplined, and you're willing to go above and beyond to get the position.
Mm-hmm.
So you may have to go back again, Doc, and just ask to come in and observe, or maybe you can ask to say, hey, I wanted to set up a one-on-one meeting with you and also just observe in the clinic. So that's something else
I'm gonna do that.
That's something else that you can do as you're waiting for the decision to be made. Do you know when the decision is going to be made?
Probably in the maximum, I think that in 2 weeks. Probably.
So is the UConn?
It's through match. No?
It is through match. Okay, so it's a match program. I guess I should have asked that. So yeah, you won't know until January 29th.
Yeah.
I think it is 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't know until the last Monday in January. So you've got about 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Okay.
To make them learn or show them and make them learn a little bit more about you before that decision comes out. Because actually it's less than that. I take that back. You've got 4 weeks because the match list goes out the second Friday of January. All match programs for AEGD and also GPR on the second Friday of January, they have to send in their match list or their rankings of people they want in their program. And then 2 weeks later, the list of who got accepted comes out. So you actually have 4 weeks. Okay. You've got 4 weeks to try to continue to increase your communication through phone calls, possibly going back up there to visit. I'm not sure if you were able to connect with any of the current residents, but maybe you go back up there and spend the day with one or two of those other residents that you met on your interview. And you just observe, and then the program directors know that you're there, and they see you once, and oh, you're here. Yeah, I just want to be here. I just wanted to observe Dr. Smith in clinic, and then maybe the week after that you come back. Oh, you back again? Yeah, I'm just here, just hanging out with Dr. Smith, just observing, because now you're building up attention to you, which may make them think, and which may make them be like, you know what, Dr. Ericka, she's really hungry. She's really dedicated to this thing. Maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do that. Let's see how we can get her into the program. So that's something. That's a
good advice.
That's something. That's something
that for sure.
Yeah, that's something that you can do, within the next 4 weeks. Now, the next part is, well, what happened? What if I do all that and match comes out and I don't match? So, one of the things.
Let's keep going.
What's that? Alter the vase? What'd you say?
Let's keep it going. Apply for the other programs. I said, let's keep it going.
Oh, okay. So if you don't match, what else?
Yeah, if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna.
So one of the things that you're gonna have to do is a thing called PostMatch. So usually at 12 o'clock on match day, there's a list. There's a list of all the programs that have openings, that have a spot. And then there's another list of all the people that did not match. All right, so there's two lists. There's going to be two lists. Okay. One of the things that you're going to have to do on the list is go look at all the programs where there's spots available, and you may have to call them. You're going to have to call them, maybe submit some information to them about your credentials to see if they will accept you or see if they will grant you an interview. Right? So that's one option. The second option is, you may have to do dental school again. You may have to go back to dental school.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm glad to hear that you have applied to UPenn. Have you gotten any interviews with UPenn?
No.
Okay. So one of the things that I would be doing on that side or that area as far as dental schools is I would contact UPenn. I would follow up and see what's the status of your application and find out
Okay.
when they normally do interviews and when they make their selections. The international program may have a different set and timetable of interviews than the regular dental school program.
Okay.
But you have submitted everything that you need for UPenn for that advanced standing program, yes?
Yeah. So, for example, I called the University of Maryland asking because I was waiting for an email saying that I didn't got an interview or they didn't send me anything, so I called them asking, and then the woman there said that I have to wait. I have to wait for an email. So I was like, okay, I'm waiting, but what else can I do? Maybe go there, right, the university and ask.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, see, the issue is this: you have to look at it from the dental school perspective. Any dental school, if they have 100 slots, they probably have about close to 1,000 applicants. So if you're one of those applicants, you're one of 1,000 people doing the same thing, which is, hey, I didn't get any notification. I haven't got an interview. Am I on the slate to get interviewed? What's the status? So that's why you get that response. But one of your issues too, Doc, is unfortunately this go round you didn't apply to enough programs. So only 4 programs, you don't have a lot of choices in the sense that if you say you applied to 20 programs, you might have gotten some feedback by now. So it becomes like a numbers game throughout this whole process. It's a wait and see type of thing. And it's even more it's even more challenging because it's just 4 programs. So
I think that if I didn't get, I think that I have to just return and try to complete the dental school again, right?
Yeah.
Now, then I can apply for more programs.
That's right. You can't apply for any more programs. And I'm not even sure the University of Maryland has an advanced standing program. Do they?
They have the EAD.
Yeah, but okay, I'm not familiar with that particular program for the AEGD, but if I guess they take, are you saying that they take international dentists for the program?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. All right. So So the 4 programs that you applied to all take international dentists.
All of them.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. Well, again, UConn was the one that you got the interview for, and that's good. I would focus on what you can do to the things that we talked about, the things that you can do since you already have had an interview and you know who the people are who are making those decisions. I would just continue to put all your efforts on reestablishing and letting them know about you as a candidate. Go visit, get on the telephone every week for the next 4 weeks until you actually hear, until somebody picks up the phone or until somebody calls you back. You keep calling.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And in the meantime, I would follow up with UPenn, especially since they have. Did you apply to the advanced standing program at Penn, or did you do the AEGD program?
Yeah. No. EADD.
But that was
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and like I said, the worst case.
Yeah, it was Temple University here in Pennsylvania. It was Temple University.
Oh, it was Temple, not
The
UPenn.
name. Mm-hmm. No, it was Temple University.
Okay, Temple. Okay, Temple.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario, Doc,
Mm-hmm.
you may have to do 2 years. You may have to reapply next year, or you may have to apply into the advanced standing dental school program for 2 years to just be done with it. Because one of the things that you have that's great is yes, you have a degree from somewhere else, and all the other dentists that are foreign trained also have a degree from somewhere else. So when you all start UPenn, you all will start it pretty much together. Some that would have practiced last year, some practiced 2 years ago. So it'll be different areas, but you all are going to start together, and that may be a better route for you to get into a program, especially since you have not been practicing hands-on day-to-day for the last three years. I think that's going to be your best. I think that's going to be your best bet.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. So to summarize, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a card and send a holiday card for them. I'm gonna go there as soon as possible to try to talk to them. And tomorrow, I'm gonna call them and try to talk to them to remember me and talk about my plans and all my effort that I am willing to do.
Yes, and
right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I will let you know the result.
Absolutely. And when you call, call with the notion that, with the purpose and the reason that you want to talk to the person directly. Don't tell them what you want to. Don't tell them what you want to talk about in the message. Tell them I have a quick question. I had a question I wanted to ask you. Look forward to calling. If you could, please call me back or let me know a time that we can set up a time to call. Don't tell them what you want to ask them. Just tell them that you want to ask them something.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think that I have to talk to them in the calling, like about the things that I wrote in the email or more things?
You're going to have to come up with a question. You're going to have to come up with a question. Maybe there's a question that you didn't get to ask at the interview, or maybe something came up after the interview that you want to ask now. So whatever that is, that's something that you're going to have to create or find out for yourself. But the purpose is to talk directly, like you and I are talking now. You want to be able to talk to the person directly, not via email, not by talking to them and leaving a message on the voicemail. You want to talk to them live, if possible. And if you can't get to them face to face to talk live, on the phone is the next best thing.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for your advice. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time to talk to me, and thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome. I want to
keep going with your videos. They are really helpful.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys saw them and they've been helpful. Look, we got 30 days, a little bit more than, a little bit more than 30 days. Let's plan on talking that last week of January. I'll be interested to see where you matched at, and also just to hear your progress. If you want to shoot me an email at newdentistcoach@gmail.com, newdentistcoach@gmail.com. Shoot me an email maybe in about 2 weeks to let me know what your, your results of your progress, so we can talk about it. All right?
Okay. Sure.
All right. Good luck to you. Buena suerte.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So look, she's big challenge for her. She's, internationally trained dentist, and she hasn't been practicing for 3 years. She hasn't been able to because she doesn't have a license here. So the challenge for her is getting into a program, and a program that feels comfortable with allowing her to get back into the groove. And it may take a month, it may take 2-3 months for her to get back into it, but all that's going to come back to her immediately. So we wish Dr. Ericka good luck. I'm sure she'll do well, and we'll follow up with her soon. So again, this is Dr. Hayes, the new dentist coach, Dr. Darwin, here to help you. If you have any questions, comments, hey, if you like today's video, if you like the information that you heard, if you want to, you should share it, but also leave a comment at the bottom. I'd love to hear some feedback. It gives me the opportunity to respond, but also to get new ideas from you about things that you want to hear, that you need to hear, that you are looking to hear about. In addition to that, also feel free to shoot me an email, newdentistcoach@gmail.com, about share with me your fears, your worries, your frustrations, or things that are challenging you, so we can get you some tips and some strategies that you may not have thought about, but ones that you can utilize and implement ASAP. Thanks again. See you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.